So welcome everyone. We're about to get started, but without further ado,
the hatred that exists between Jews and Jews originated with Yaakov, or not Yaakov, but Yosef and his brothers who despised him and they betrayed him and then sold him into Mitzrayim. Eventually, that sowed the seeds of discord, especially when it led to the assimilation of the Hellenistic period, and which led to the great revolt of the Hashmonaim fighting against Antiochus and the Greeks. That eventually started with assimilation of Jews becoming secular, okay? And that became hatred of Jew against Jew. And so many times we see when Abraham descended to Mitzrayim, Yaakov descended to Mitzrayim, all the children eventually descended to Mitzrayim. This is the concept of Maseh Avot Siman Labanim, that the actions of the fathers are assigned to the children. And so Ramban explains in his commentary that until the Jewish people return to the Madrega, the spiritual level of Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov, they are still in Galut, they're in exile. Let's delineate here to the words of Ramban as he explains this concept. And this is his intro to the book of Exodus. He says, Scripture has completed Sefer Bereshit, which is also called Sefer HaYetzirah. It's another nickname that Genesis has, which means the book of formation, which concerns the creation of the world and the formation of all its creatures, as well as the events of the fathers, which are also a sort of creation, he says, a sort of creation with regard to their offspring, because all of the events in the lives of the fathers are illustrations, essentially, to allude to and to foretell all that will come upon their offspring in the future. He says, after it completed the account of creation, Scripture began another book, which concerns the actions that emanated from those previous illusions. And therefore, the book of Shemot is dedicated to the subject of the first exile experienced by the Jewish people, namely the exile of Mitzrayim, which was decreed and explicitly, and foretold explicitly to Abraham, which is back in Parshah Terumah, there, Genesis 15:13-14, and the redemption
welcome,
of that exile. Now, also as a side note,
thanks.
Let's see. So here, we're just gonna get into it. All right. Also, I made progress on this one. Check this out. Are you able to see right now?
It'll pop up in a second.
All right. Just let me know when.
It'll pop up in a second.
Oh. Here. Oh, wait.
Yep. I see. Definitely making progress.
Anyway, so Baruchu et Adonai Amvorach, Baruch Adonai Amvorach Leolam Vaed, Baruch et Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachad banu mikol ha'amim v'natan לנו את תורתו, ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה. here. ועשית את הקרשים למשכן עצי שיטים עומדים. And you were to make the boards or the planks for the tabernacle of acacia wood of Atzei Shittim acacia trees, omdim, that are standing upright, or literally just standing acacia trees. I wonder what the commentary is on this real quick. Let's see. Made of acacia wood upright. The reason why the Torah added the words upright was to forbid planks that had already fallen off the tree after the branch having been sawed off. This comes to teach you that it is proper to build a building only from wood that came from a tree that did not produce any fruit. Wait, what? Huh? I'm not connecting the two things.
That not bearing any fruit came out of left field for me.
All right. Interesting. One interpretation of the word umdim is that they were taken from trees which up to that time had been standing rooted in the earth, i.e. they had not had time to dry out or begin to rot. An alternate explanation for the word omdim would be that the boards remained in their prime condition forever. The word omdim means standing up as it grew on the tree, for the length of the wood is its height. The same applies to a person when he stands. The opposite is the case when he lies down. On the other hand, the word omdim might mean standing straight up. Interesting. They're saying karashim comes from kesharim, which is about connecting. Rabbeinu Bachya, you are to construct the beams. The Torah really should have written Vasita Karashim. You are to construct beams just as the Torah had written. Hasita Uriot, not Uriot. Wait, interesting. The letter Hey in front of the word Karashim suggests that we had heard that about these beams previously. It seems quite unjustified. Our sages therefore found support in the letter Hey for the tradition that Yaakov had already brought acacia trees to Egypt with him and had told his sons to take the trunks with them out of Egypt when the time would come, as they wouldn't be needed by the Israelites in the desert. Interesting. I've heard that before multiple times, but it's good to see it referenced by this guy. Alright, is this the same one? Let's see. A Kabbalistic approach to the words Etzei Shittim Omdim parallel the words Seraphim Omdim Mima'alo. Seraphim stood in attendance to him. The word Omdim was mentioned as an allusion to the celestial forces. There is nothing in the tabernacle which does not somehow reflect concepts and beings of the celestial realms. To quote just a few verses from the Bible in which this thought has been expressed, even though obliquely at times, the pattern of the tabernacle and the pattern of all its vessels. The matching verses found in Chronicles 1:28-19. Hakol be Katav miyad Adonai alei haskil kol malachot hatvanit. All this Adonai has made me understand by his hand on me the works according to all its pattern, and the pattern of all that he had by the Spirit. The point of all this is that although the tabernacle, the temple, and all its holy vessels would never be destroyed or lost, We must never believe that the destruction of physical symbols meant that their counterpart in the celestial regions also ceased to exist. Rather, they remain in an upright standing position. This is the thrust of what we have been taught in Sukkah 45 and Yoma 72, that the mystical dimension of the words, the meaning of the words upright standing acacia wood is that these woods lend hope and spiritual fortitude to those who look upon them. If you perchance would think that after all they have now been lost to us, and just as they had been lost, so has our hope faded. The Torah describes them as standing, i.e., in the present tense, to reassure you that the concept they represent will endure forever and ever. The word safuin in the Talmud there means the power which is expected of them by those looking at them with hope. The meaning of the words tale is me'amidin oto hakoach gadol b'katan. Now the great was made dependent on the small. The wood of the shittim trees held the gold overlay in place instead of vice versa. Interesting. Any thoughts on that? I'm just kind of swimming in too many thoughts to kind of calm. I mean, like, I think it's interesting, this idea that like those who look upon the acacia will have hope. I've personally experienced that, but not this like look. Oh, like you look at an acacia tree and then you have hope. It's a deeper thing than just that.
Yeah, no, I don't have much to say on this. It's it's just listening to what they have to say and processing. That's all.
Let's see. So where are we? Yeah. Eser amot orecha karesh ve'ama v'chatzi hama rachov hakeresh ha'echad. One more. Sorry, 1 moment. All right. All right. 10 cubits is the length of the board or of the plank, and the cubit and a cubit and a half and a cubit. Wait, Eser amot. Huh? All right. 10 cubits is the length of the plank, and a cubit and a half is the cubit width of the board, of the one board. So, and a cubit and a half. It's weird how it phrases it. But yeah, that's what I said. שתי ידות לקרש, האחד משולבות. אישה אל אחותה כן תעשה לכל קרשי המשכן. 2 hands. Okay, it can be also sine part, fractional part, share time. Axle trees, axle stays, support. So like the supports or the tenons in tabernacle, and 2 tenons. Is that what it says? Tenons, yeah, more tenons. And 2 tenons like will be for the keresh, for the board, will be for one board. Mishulavot. Shalav. Wait, is it shalva? Interestingly, shalva with a spelled differently means tranquility. So this idea of being bound together, joined together, it almost has a similar connotation, but not meaning just connotation. And the one shall be bound together, each one to another. Thus you thus you shall make thus you shall do for all the planks of the Mishkan, of the tabernacle. Vasita et kerashim. Or not. Sorry, easily distracted. Vasita et hakarashim lamishkan esrim keresh leifad negba temana ve'arba. And you'll make the boards or the planks for the Mishkan Esrim 10 planks, Lifat, for a border, or for a border, Negba Temana. Wait, hold on. Esrim. Sorry, I missed that. Esrim isn't 10. Esrim is 20. And did I say that before? I think I messed up. No, it was 10. So, but what's this? Lifat Negba Temana. Like, to the Negev to the south. Or literally to the right. But what on earth, how do they understand this? Because this doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, there's only 22 commentaries, so certainly it doesn't seem like they talk about it much. Okay. Okay, where's the part about from end to end? Who's this from? This is Ibn Ezra. Okay, Hebrew uses 2 words for south. On the south side, southward, the word pa'a here has not the meaning of corner, but the whole side is called pe'ah. Oh, there's the same idea of like peot. Peot. It's the corners. As the Targum has it, l'ruach aver deruma. Oh, deroma. Interesting. Oh, this is like a diagram. It shows you how the pegs fit in. This is pretty cool. I like that they have this diagram. You see? Yeah, we'll see. All right.
Let me see here. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen anything quite like that.
I do think if they have, the IKEA instructions, you need the little dudes to have beards. That's just, I think, necessary.
Wait, what?
Well, if they have IKEA instructions on how to assemble the ark, you know how they always have the little people diagrams in there? I'm just thinking that the people diagrams for the ark should have beards. That's all.
Oh, I see what you were saying. I thought you were saying that that the people that basically that the diagram should have people with beards. I didn't get you were saying that. That
Well,
people
I do.
should have beards.
Yeah. If you're doing the ark, beards is what's needed.
To be fair, Scandinavians have beards as well, so there's no excuse that they don't have it.
Now they're trying to be generic. That they have to have it fit women. And the last thing I checked is at least most Scandinavian women still didn't have beards. Might be a few, but most of them didn't. So
maybe if they have a bit, maybe if they have a little bit of dwarven in them, like they come from the mines of Moria.
Yeah, or maybe a little troll since you're dealing with Scandinavian. That's always the big thing up there is, they love their trolls.
There's actually apparently there's this one movie I didn't see. I just saw like or not a trailer, but like a recap of it, and it's like two trolls that fall in love, and the one doesn't know that she's a troll. The other he knows, and he's the one who tells her that she is. It's bizarre. Anyway, let's see. All right, so all right. ו40 מעדני כסף תעשה תחת 20 הכרש שני האדנים תחת הכרש האחד לשתי ידותיו ושני אדנים תחת הכרש האחד לשתי ידותיו. And 40 adnei 40 sockets, sockets, strong sockets of silver. You shall make tachat esrim below the 20 boards, or 20 of the boards rather. Because it's hakeres. Shnei adanim, two sockets, tachat hakeres, beneath the keres, beneath one keres, beneath one board, or one plank. Lishtei yadotav. So it's saying two So this is interesting. So shtei, because yadotav, because the yad gets changed to yadotav. But here, because I'm guessing it changes. No, the keres, is it? Yeah, keres is shne. No, adanim is shnei, and then you have yad. I guess apparently yad is yad. I'm rusty on which ones are masculine and which ones are feminine. Unfortunately, you can't just ask them, hey, what are your pronouns? But words don't talk, and if words start talking to you like that, it might be time to get checked out.
Especially if they come back with they.
I mean, in Hebrew, technically speaking, if you ask a chair, what are your pronouns, and it tells you they, them, I think that your main concerns is that a chair is talking to you, not that it's. But let's assume that was normal reality. Did chairs really have to be gendered? I mean, it's one of those things where, if all language is gendered, then everything is gendered. But if things are like for instance, today, we even though English isn't a gendered language in the same way as other languages, we gender the idea of houses, of ships, of nations, of what else? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
yeah, anthropomorphize them and such. Yeah.
Yeah, but that anyway. Sorry, I took your joke way too seriously. I'm just analyzing.
Yeah, no, it was just a throwaway. Sorry.
Yeah. So let's see. So two. Let's see. For two of the. Was it? What was the word that we're calling it again? Tenons. I think it was. Was that the word? Yeah, tenons. For two tenons and shnei adanim, and two sockets tachat hakeres, beneath the plank, beneath one plank, lishtei yadotav, for two tenons. Okay, so it's saying two sockets beneath each one for its two pegs, and two sockets beneath each other board for. It implies each other. It seems like it might just be reporting beneath. Oh wait, 2 sockets beneath one board for its 2 pegs, and 2 sockets beneath other board. But where does it say other board? Ha'echad. It identifies them the same way. For one, I guess you're supposed to imply it's another, but it seems like they could have just left it in potentially. But this is not. Oh, come on. Well, all right. 2 sockets under one each plank. The sockets of each of these sockets were 1 cubit in length, matching the thickness of each plank. And the author proceeds to give further details, which in the absence of illustration are not easy for the reader to follow. This editor hopes to supply illustrations at the end of the last volume of this Torah commentary. There is no unanimity on some of these details, but seeing that regardless of whose opinion is right, there will not be another tabernacle in the what? There will not be another tabernacle in the future. That excuse me? I thought the whole idea is there's going to be a third temple. Or are they saying that's not a tabernacle, even though it is? It's almost like so the temple's the house, but the tabernacle is the bride chamber, the bedroom.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's running entirely contrary to the idea of a third temple. It's like I can't imagine how you have a third temple without having a tabernacle, but that seems to be what they're trying to imply. And I'm not quite sure how that works. Hey.
Let's see. Wait, so they're saying that it's not. Oh, see, this is Kuni. Let's see. Dispute will never be resolved. So he's saying it won't be. Maybe he means there won't be another in the future until the Messiah. I don't know, but it seems like he would imply that if that's what he was saying. So probably just kind of playing fast and loose. I don't know. All right. Ultsela hamishkan hashenit. Wait, what? Okay, this is interesting. Ultsala hamishkan hashenit lifat tzafon esrim karesh. So, and for the side of, so interesting. So this is reading. It translates it as the second flank, or the second side of the dwelling. But what's interesting is that you could also read this, and the side ulsala, or and for and to the side ulsala. Holy crap. Okay, so lifat means the corner. Wait. I feel like there's something else going on here, because so, and sorry, you're not, you're probably in a different headspace now, because I'm translating this on my head. So utsala is, and to the side or to the rib, hamishkan hashenit, of the second temple, or of the second mishkan. Now it's wanting to say the second side of the mishkan, but I think it could also be read the side of the second. Wait, hamishkan hashini. Yeah. Let's see. It would be what was this? I think this would be grammatically correct. Let me see if anything. Let's see. Anyway, so to the side of the north, or to the northern border, Esrim Karesh, 20 boards. I can't help but feel like there's something really interesting going on here, and I'm not sure.
Well, one thing I find interesting is, aren't they setting up like a mobile tabernacle?
Yeah.
It seems if something's mobile, there's not an inherently north one. And that carries some significance. It's clearly that they're building it to have a geographical alignment.
Wait, what do you mean there's not a north one?
Well, is there a north side to a car?
No, but the thing is that a car has to constantly be moving forward in order
Well,
to. Well,
I
not.
understand that. What I'm saying is, if something can move, that means it can reorient itself. That means it doesn't have an inherently north side unless it has to be set up in that alignment.
No, but that's the thing. It does. So you would have the north side faces the north. That's also why it mentions most likely up here why it says on the Negev border southward or where is this to the side of to the southern side to the right.
I know, but what I'm saying is, I'm drawing significance to the idea you're doing this on a mobile object because these instructions make perfect sense if you're building a building. If you're building a mobile object, it doesn't make as much sense. Like I said, I'm just saying that the way it's written draws out that it has to be set up in a certain alignment, which carries implications. What
Uh,
implications? I don't know. I'm just noting it. That's
Yeah,
all.
I mean, think about it like a map. Like you can turn it, but it doesn't change the fact that in order for it to be oriented, north has to be facing north. And on that same note, you can change the way you're looking at it, but ultimately it stays in the same direction. It can move in every direction, but it has to stay oriented. And that's also part of the same idea that Jews still to this day face Jerusalem to pray. It doesn't matter, like
Sort of like the facing Mecca thing.
well, the thing is that apparently there was a time where they actually were facing Jerusalem as well, or at least I
Well,
guess depending on.
yeah, I was going to say that was one of the explanations. The better explanation I got, from the breakdown is more that they aimed for a spot halfway between Mecca and Damascus, which is pretty close to Jerusalem.
Sefer Shemot is also called Book 2. Has a very bland name to it, and there's a very deep meaning. And I would highly recommend you to take a look at my teaching on the Haggadah Shel Pesach to better understand that concept. Continuing on, Nachmanides says, this is why scripture goes back and begins this book with the name of those who descended to Mitzrayim. In other words, Chuvah Shemot, which means names in Hebrew. Ve'eli Shemot, these are the names. And also their numbers are mentioned. He says, even though this information was already recorded in Sefer Bereshit at the very end there in Genesis 46, 8 to 27, Ramban says it is repeated because their descent there marked the beginning of the Galut or exile, for it was at that point that it started. It goes on to say, now the exile did not end until the day the people returned to their place and returned to the stature of their forefathers. When they left Mitzrayim, although they had left the house of bondage, they were still considered exiles, for they were still in the land not theirs, wandering in the Bamidbar, the wilderness. Ramban continues. And he says, but when they arrived at Har Sinai and built the Mishkan, and the Holy One, blessed be He, once again caused the Shekhinah to dwell among them, at that point, they said the counsel of God was over their tents. And as the Midrash states, they themselves were like the Merkavah, or the chariot of Hashem. And that's brought down Bereshit Rabbah 47:6. After the destruction of the Mishkan, the people of Israel were considered to be truly redeemed from their exile. And this is why Sefer Shemot ends with its completion of the subject of the Mishkan and with the glory of God filling it always. Very, very interesting piece from the Ramban. So according to the Ramban, the reason why certain parts of the Mishkan were composed from material associated with the merit of the fathers is that until the Jewish people return to the spiritual madrega of Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov, they are in a state of galut, of exile. And this is what's always been problematic for a lot of people, even in from material associated with the merit of the fathers, is that until the Jewish people return to the spiritual madrega of Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov, they are in a state of galut. Is that until the Jewish people return to the spiritual madrega of Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov, associate with the merit of the fathers, is that until the Jewish people return to the spiritual madrega of Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov, they are in a state of galut, of exile. And this is what's always been problematic for a lot of people, even in our day and age, with the current Medinat Israel, the current state of Israel. that you still have millions of Jews that live around the world, and even Jews that live in Eretz Israel are in a state of exile. Because unless we return to the spiritual level of our fathers, we're still in a state of exile. Now, a lot of people, they always attribute Israel's merit to the connection of the Avot. But what about the Imot, the mothers? Israel would not be Israel unless we also had the mothers, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah. They are an integral part to the creation of the Jewish nation. According to the Torah, 2 individuals are responsible for overseeing the construction of Mishkan. Those 2 individuals was Betzalel and Aholiav, as we read here, Shemot, Exodus 31, verse 1 to 6. The Torah says over here, Hashem spoke to Moshe saying, see, I have called by name Betzalel, the son of Uri, the son of Hor, Lemate Yehuda from the tribe of Judah. God says, and I have filled him with the spirit of God, the chachma with wisdom, uvin vuna with understanding, and also uda'at with knowledge, and also with every craft, to weave designs, to work with gold, silver, and copper, stone cutting for setting, and wood carving, to be able to perform every craft. The first thing goes on to say, and also and behold, natati ito et Aholiav, and I've also assigned with him Aholiav ben Achisamach, who is from Lamate Dan, from the tribe of Dan. And I have also endowed the heart of every kol chacham lev, a very wise-hearted person, with chachma, with wisdom. And therefore they shall make all that I have commanded you. The construction of the Mishkan essentially is being attributed to Rachel and Leah. You might say, huh? Rachel and Leah, where'd you get that from? That's the Torah just mentions here. It says Betzalel and also Aholiav. Where's Rachel and Leah at? Well, where's Betzalel from? The Torah says for Shevet Yehuda. Who's Shevet Yehuda from? Yehuda is a descendant of who? Leah. And what about Aholiav? I just mentioned here that Oholiav ben Achismach is from Shevet Dan. Who is Dan a descendant of? Dan, a descendant of Rachel. However, Rachel via her Shifka, her maidservant, who was Bilhah. We have to understand that Bilhah and Zilpah were respectively owned, I hate to use such a term like their property, but essentially they were under the authority of Rachel and Leah. And so any of the sons that Bilhah had belonged to Rachel, and any of the sons that Zilpah had belonged to Leah. Over in the Megillah, we find that it mentions that Rachel and Leah were responsible for building the house of Israel. This is brought down to Ruth chapter 4, verse 11. This is right when Ruth converts to Judaism, okay? And she's standing before the elders of the gate, which is an idiom for the Beit Din. And therefore, then all the people who were there, Asher Basha'ar, at the gate, V'hazakini, and the elders, which is the Sanhedrin, Edim, they said, we are witnesses. Yiten Adonai et ha'isha, that may Hashem make the woman who is Haba'a el Beitecha, coming into your house, Rachel, like Rachel, like Leah, Asher banu shetechem et Beit Israel, both who built up the house of Israel. V'aseh chayil, and may you prosper, may you be like a woman of valor. Okay, like Ephrat, and also Urashem beveit Lechem, and may you be famous in Beit Lechem, which refers to the house of David, because we know that. David wasn't born yet, but it becomes famous in Beit Lechem because this is the origins of the house of David. Once Ruth marries Boaz, and we know that the Davidic line is produced from that point on. So
interesting.
Yeah, no, that hits on one of my sore spots, which you
one?
know, I agree with them 100% that the women make such a significant difference in the history of Judaism, and the reason why it's sore is the best example for that is Keturah. Abraham's wife. After Sarah, it's like she was his full wife. He clearly would have had his kids circumcised there, yet they get no real indication of anything, much in the rest of it. It's like, what's up with that?
Wait, sorry, what are you saying?
Well, I'm just saying they make a big deal about that the women make the difference. It's different. Wife of Abraham.
Yeah, what about Keturah though?
Well, she to me she gets a short shift. It's like, obviously all of the, it's like her kids don't get the same importance as the other one. And it's the same, like I said, it's just that to me shows the importance of the women.
I disagree, because if you look at who her kids were, the Midianites.
Oh, no, I agree. And that's, it does tie into it. I'm just saying when you're looking at it from the history of Judaism, the Midianites, they're not really the children of Keturah aren't really considered part of the body of Israel, or really as much the inheritance of Abraham. They get sort of a short shift, sort of just like Ishmael does. And at least with the first one, it was a handmaiden. This one was a full-on wife. And again, it's just one of those things that stand out as it. I'm sure there's lots of midrashes with explanations of it.
Yeah, the Jewish tradition actually holds that Keturah was Hagar.
Oh, okay. Well, you have to remember, I'm only coming from only seeing a couple references of hers in the Bible that I'm reading.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't raised with the midrashes and the traditions as much. I just picked them up on the streets, so to speak. Tag.
But yeah, she's pretty much honored. And just not as well known in America.
Yeah, like I was expressing that entirely as one of my pet peeves. Because, like I said, that was always one of it. Reading through there, it's like, well, Sarah had one kid, Keturah had a bunch. It just seemed like the disparate treatment of the two in the Bible that I was reading just stood out to me. That's all.
So yeah, like there's a kibbutz in Israel, modern day Israel, named after Keturah. You also have south of there. Where was I? Just saw it. Eliphaz, and then here's Timnah Peak. Wait, what? Seriously? Timnah? Wait, what? I don't know why I thought Timnah was. Holy crap! I did not know Timnah is actually in modern day Israel. Is it?
It's still like Negev, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know why. For whatever reason, I thought it was in. I mean, I guess it's right on the border with Sinai. But yeah, so you have Eliphaz. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Burger King Ramon. But wow, it's beautiful. Pizzeria. What pizzeria? The mushroom. Why is it called a mushroom? Does it look like one? Oh right, I forgot. You can't see really anything from zooming in.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say, I don't see it as well as you do. I'm looking at it on the stream, but yeah. No, no, I didn't mean to derail us. I just,
Oh no, no worries. Interesting. I don't know how this is connected, but alright, so where were we? Here.
we were building a tabernacle.
Some assembly required. Dang it! Why didn't I use that as the name? Uh, uh. Um. Yeah. No comment on this. So, let's see. Um. Wait, where were we? Um. Um. Alright, so and let's see. I already read that. You'll make shisha. Oh wait, what? Oh wait. Oh wait, yeah, I read that. And the Mishkan. And for the wait, so where was Hashanit then? Oh, okay, there it is. Arba'im. Wait, what did I read? I'm sorry, I'm like losing track of where it was last. Commentary. I couldn't find a commentary there. Okay, so ולצלצלה המשכן השני לפאת צפון 20 קרש, ו40 מאדניהם כסף, 2 אדנים תחת הקרש, האחד ו2 אדנים תחת הקרש האחד. And 40 sockets of silver, two sockets below below the plank, below one plank, and 2 sockets below one plank. So it's repeating it again. All right. ולירכתי המשכן ימה תעשה 6 קרשים. I'm just gonna keep reading. ושני קרשים תעשה לי מקוצות המשכן בירכתיים. Alright. And the side of the Mishkan that is to the sea, you'll make 6 boards, and 2 planks you'll make lim kutsot for their end, for the corners. It says for places of corner structure, for like the corner pillars of the tabernacle, biyarchatayim, in its sides. I'm not sure. ויהיו תאומים מלמטה ויחדו, יהיו תמים על ראשו אל הטבעת, האחד כן יהיה לשניהם, לשני מקצות יהיו. See. And if and so that the twins milmata, so twins from below. Wait, mil mata from underneath. I'm just going to read the translation because I'm too tired for this. All right, so they may be of twin use from the lower ends. Oh wait, mil mata, yeah, from the bottom. And together may be a whole piece. Vayichtav yihiyu tamim. Yeah, and together they will be twins. Al rosho, upon his head. This is at the top. So upon or at the top, at his top. El hatavata. I'm guessing to his signet ring. Yeah. Towards, what's his first ring? Towards the ring, towards the one ring. Holy crap. I think I might have just found an argument for the one ring actually be. Holy crap, I have something to tell my my professor today. That's so cool. Look at this. Hatavat, the ring. Ha'echad, the one ring. It's literally the one ring, dude. One ring to rule them all. One ring. Wait, what was it? One ring to. Shoot, how's it go? One ring to rule them all. One ring to bind them. One ring to fool them all, and in the darkness bind them. How do I remember that shit? Any thoughts on this?
No, interesting. Could very well be a connection. I was going to say Tolkien was a very, very, very big Catholic, so he stole a lot from,
And what's interesting? Oh, so this says towards the first ring, but if you look where it says for the word first, it says the Hebrew is obscure. I'm gonna look up if this is is. Wait, is
I was
that?
just going to say very interesting. I'm popping in and out. Sorry for the connection.
No worries. Is I'm asking obvious. Is hatavat ha'echad the one ring, as in Lord of the Rings? Let's see. I'm looking this up. Hatavat ha ha Holy crap! Oh, interesting. So you know what it's called in Hebrew?
What?
Let's see. What? Okay, so I guess. Oh no, that makes sense. So the rings of power is Tvaot HaKoach. Let me see if there's. I just need to find where it says something about one ring. Where does it say the one ring? Oh wait, addictive power of the one ring. Here, I'm gonna pull this up. Let's see. Holy crap. Avi's going to join soon. But yeah, this is wild. So let's see. One moment. All right, so let's see. Hatavat. Hatavat. Ha'echad. Still, after all these years, I need to get a freaking Hebrew keyboard. Okay, so the one ring. So we're right here. Okay, let's see. It's kind of annoying. I just want to see it by. Am I just totally missing this? Where is the? Do they not have Hebrew as one of the languages? It's kind of strange. They what? All right. Let's see. Rings of Power, maybe. Ring of Power. So now let's look at Hebrew. I know it was in Hebrew because I was looking at it in Hebrew on my phone. All right, here. You've read. Tavat limshul. One ring. Let's see. A ring for ruling in them. Let's see. Oh, okay, wait here. Sarhafel, the Prince of Darkness. Sauron, interesting. B'nai Ha'adam, yeah, mankind. Let's see. Gamdaim. Oh, yeah, Gamad. Gamad is dwarves. Alafim, elves. What am I looking for? Tavat.
One ring.
Yeah, right. Okay. B'nai Halilit. Wait, what? B'nai Halilit. Hem echad hagad. What is? What on earth is this? Just the elves? Tolkien. Where's English? Here. Elves in Middle Earth. Okay, that's just weird that it has it as B'nai Lilit, the children of the night. All right, what was it? Okay, yeah. So, let's see. Tichona Soron Meir Mayar Soron. Okay, let's see. Hatavot. I'm just going to search for it. Okay. Ha-echad. Interesting. So, it doesn't seem like that's how it gets translated, but I do wonder if there's any idea of this one ring being. Anyway, so we'll see what it says about this. So, okay, so let's. So, and it'll be, okay, this is interesting. So that they may be twins. Milmata from below, they will be joined as twins upon his top, or upon at the top, or at its top, to the tavat, to the ring, ha'echad, to the one ring. Keni hiye, thus will it be, lishnehem, for the two of them, lishnei ha-mikzoot yihiyu, for two places of corner structure, two corners, two corner posts, buttress places, they shall be. Interesting. Okay, so let's see. There's got to be some commentary on this. Please don't hang me out to dry. 49. Okay, that's got to be good. Come on, let's find one ring to rule them all. Oh my god. Alright, they shall be matching at the bottom. Into the one ring. According to Rashi, every plank was cut away a little at the top along its width to cut. Okay, so identifying as the one ring, but not saying anything significant about it. What else is there? My meaning of Hebrew uncertain. Alright, this is from Ramban. And they shall be coupled together above the head of it unto the one ring. According to Rashi's interpretation, this verse goes back to explain that all boards should be coupled together beneath where the boards were cut away on their sides. And they shall all be coupled together about the head of it, meaning of each board, or it may be that Roshah, the head of it, refers to the top of the tabernacle. Similarly, according to Rashi, the expression unto the one ring means of each of the boards. Likewise, he explained, thus shall it be for them both, for the two end boards, for the board at the end of the north side and the adjacent board and the western wall. But if this is the case, if this is so, I do not know why Scripture does not explicitly tell us about these rings, saying, "And you shall make 20 gold rings," instead of saying unto the one ring, which means of each board, seeing that it mentions the cut. Okay, blah, 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 blah. I have found in the Braita on the work of the tabernacle the following exit. He cut away the board of the. Okay. And they shall be coupled together beneath, and they shall be coupled together above the head of it unto the one ring. Now it need not have said unto the one ring, but and what does it teach us by saying it? It is to teach us that this is a place where the bolts were inserted, accordingly the verse stating, and they shall be coupled together above the head of it, refers to the head of the board. Oh my god, this is so much. I don't even know. above the head of it immediately. Okay, into one ring. Each board has. All of this is so technical. They shall be for them both. Okay, German. It's German time. I don't. Oh wait, no. Wait. Anything else? Plank. The northern side. Any other they shall match the top to the. Yeah, can't find anything interesting particularly. But I thought that was cool, the idea of one ring being in the Bible. Okay.
No, definitely, especially considering how much Tolkien patterned his universe off of the Bible.
Yeah. והיו שמונה קרשים, והיו שמונה קרשים ואדניהם כסף 16 אדנים. שני אדנים תחת הקרש האחד ושני אדנים תחת הקרש האחד. And there will be 8 boards, and their sockets then their silver sockets 6. Shishas are 16. 16 sockets. Shnei Adanim. Shishas are Adanim. 16 sockets. Shnei Adanim. 2 sockets. Oh yeah, Tachat Hakarash. Beneath the board. Beneath one board, and 2 Adanim below the Karash, below one Karash. It's just repetitive formula. Formulaica. I don't know if that's a word, but it sounds good. It's like what was it? Like esoterica, but formulaica. It's like formula, esoteric. And or esoterica and formula might be more. I don't know. I'm tired, so I'm not thinking completely logically right now. Anyway. Oh, and I do not want that to fall off. Okay. So yeah. On the one. Here. Alright. ועשית בריחים עצי שיטים 5 לקרשי צלע המשכן האחד. And you'll make berichim, and you'll make in, and you're gonna make like wooden bars. What's this? Running bars. Horizontal bars designed to hold the structure good. You're to make bars, like acacia bars. Acacia bar sounds like a cool energy bar. We are to make acacia bars. Running bars. It sounds like it's like an energy bar, right? It's not just me that it sounds like, right? A running bar traditionally, at least that in our society, would be something that you eat in order to get energy to run.
Yeah, no, definitely like a Cliff Bar, acacia bar.
Yeah.
Definitely fits into that one.
I feel like a Cliff Bar is better for climbing. For running, you need something like a scram bar. I don't know, making slang out. And you'll make brichim. You're to make bars of acacia wood. 5 for the boards of the side of the Mishkan for one side of the Mishkan. Let's see. ו5 בריחים לקר שאצל המשכן השנית, ו5 בריחים לקר שאצל המשכן לירכתיים ימה והבריך התיכון בתוך הקרשים מבריח מן הקצה אל הקצה. Let's see yours. Wait. So wait. Alright, and 5 bars for the planks of the side of the Mishkan, the second side of the Mishkan. 5 bars for the boards, or for the not boards but planks, the side of the Mishkan that its side is to the sea, and bars, and the middle bar out in the midst of the in the midst of the planks, will flee, or will be running from min hakatse el hakatse, from end to end, literally. Wait, one second. Just need to quick. I need to check what we are. So
The only thing that pops into my head is, what's the significance of a bar versus a plank?
no, like a plank, it's like for the walls, versus the bar is like in order to support the.
Okay.
Yeah.
The one that they're allegedly carrying it around on gold rings.
Kind of, yeah. Let's see, so okay, so 15.
Now the ark goes inside the tabernacle. That's what they're saying.
Yeah. Let's see, so alright, so wait, where are we? Right. ואת הקרשים תצפה זהב, ואת אבותיהם תעשה זהב, בתים להבריחים, וציפית את האבריחים זהב, והקמותה את המשכן כי משפטו אשר הרית בהר. And the karashim, the boards, titzapet, safa, like watched over, overlooked. Oh no, you were to overlay with gold and her rings, and their rings. They'll be covered in gold, and their rings, says of works of gold, batim, they're in batim are their storehouses, or like their houses, livrichim, for the sorry, I forgot. For the bars, vita, and for those who cover the bars in gold. Vehekamota, and so you'll raise the Mishkan, or it literally says erect the Mishkan, like Mishpato, like his, as according to the ordinance, or according to the process, the plan, according to execution, as Hareta Bahar, as I appeared to you on the mountain. So 30. Alright, so I'll take a quick break here. Then we have 31 until, where is it? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh yeah, perfect. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, so so we can do some more. I want to take a quick break. Any thoughts so far?
Not a whole lot. It's kind of, just trying to picture how they're doing it, and again, testing it against the various theories that I've heard about, the Ark of the Covenant and such.
Fair. Oh yeah, let's see. So where is the view tab?
We see here that the house of Israel, its construction, its identity, its existence is attributed not just to Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov, but also to the mothers of Israel. Fascinating. If we go back to Parshah Terumah, we read that when Yitzhak marries Rivka, the Torah tells us that he brought Rivka into the tent of his mother Sarah. Bereshit, Genesis 24, chapter 24, verse 67. And it says, "Vayivecha Yitzhak aho hela Sarah imo." And Yitzhak brought her into the tent of Sarah, his mother. He married Rivka, she became his wife, and he loved her, and thus Yitzhak was consoled after his mother. Now, the Midrash explains that when Sarah was alive, a candle would stay lit from one Erev Shabbat to the next Erev Shabbat, and that there was a special blessing on her challah, and that the Shekhinah would preside over her tent in the form of a cloud. This is brought down by Bereshit Rabbah, chapter 60, verse 16. It says over there, Kol yamim shehayata Sarah, as long as Sarah was alive, kayemet haya anan chashur, that there was a cloud secured at the entrance of her al petach ahola, upon her tent. But when she died, the presence of that cloud stopped, and when Rivka came, that cloud returned. For as long as Sarah was alive, the doors of her home were open to all directions. But when Sarah died, that accessibility from all directions stopped. And when Rivka came, that accessibility from all directions had returned. It goes on to say afterwards, as long as Sarah was alive, a blessing was sent into her dough, or her challah. But when Sarah died, that blessing stopped. And so when Rivka came, that blessing returned. For as long as Sarah was alive, also a ner, a lamp, would be lit continuously, okay, from one Erev Shabbat to the next Erev Shabbat, or from Friday night to Friday night. But when she died, that lamp stopped burning. And when Rivka came, that lamp miraculously burning had returned. It continued on. And then it goes on to say afterwards, the following passage, and when Yitzhak saw that Rivka was doing the things his mother had done, she was separating the challah under conditions of purity, in which she was separating her unconsecrated dough under conditions of purity. This is when Yitzhak brought Rivka into the tent. Very interesting piece of the Midrash. Now, I'd like to point out something here. When the Midrash speaks about the bracha mishulachat ba'isa, that a blessing went into her isa, her dough, that is actually being used in a way as a metaphor for money. The Midrash is teaching that Abraham was blessed financially in the zechut of his wife Sarah. And this is something the Zohar brings down with the concept that we say in English, happy wife, happy life. That the income of a person's home is through the soul of the wife. The wife that is happy, she has true simcha, the wife's soul serves as a conduit for parnosa. That's why we say happy wife, happy life. So if you're not happy with your life, then that means that your wife's not happy, or it means you don't have a wife. So maybe you need to get started and start finding one. But this is also a metaphor here for that, why Abraham prospered financially, economically, because of the merit of his wife. Now, when you take a look at this Midrash, we see a few things here that stand out. The image of a candle staying lit from Erev Shabbat to Erev Shabbat, the cloud of the Shekhinah presiding over the tent, and the separation of the challah is but a remez. It's an illusion. Once again, maseh avot, or in this case, emot, simelabanim, that the actions of both the fathers and the mothers become a sign of the children when you apply these concepts to the Mishkan. According to Chazal, what's called the lechem hapanim, the table of showbread, or literally the bread of faces, it was put out every Shabbat, and it will remain fresh from one Shabbat to the next Shabbat. The Kohanim were allowed to eat the old lechem hapanim once it was replaced with the newer lechem hapanim. And we find this concept brought down in the Mishnah to Masechet Menachot 4:4. It says that we inaugurate the shulchan, the table, only by placing, excuse the typo there, not B, but by placing the lechem hapanim on it on Shabbat. And furthermore, we read over in Masechet Chagiga in the Bavli, it says, behold your affection before God, who performs a perpetual miracle with the bread. Okay? For when it is removed from the table of Shabbat, it is just as fresh as it was when it was arranged on the previous Shabbat. As Rabbi, it says, behold your affection before God, who performs a perpetual by placing, excuse the typo there, not B, but by placing the lechem hapanim on it on Shabbat. And furthermore, we read over in Masechet Chagiga in the Bavli, it says, behold your affection before God, who performs a perpetual miracle with the bread. Okay? For when it is removed from the table of Shabbat, it is just as fresh as it was when it was arranged on the previous Shabbat. As Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi said, a great miracle was performed with the lechem hapanim, the showbread, as its condition during its arrangement. So was its condition during its removal, as is also alluded to in Shmuel Aleph, 1 Samuel chapter 21, verse 7, when it says to place hot bread on the day when it was taken away. That refers to when the lechem hapanim was put out every Shabbat, indicating that it was hot on the day of its removal, as it was on the day that it was placed. Very interesting. Now, regarding the menorah, the Torah commanded that what's called the Ner Tamid, or what the rabbis will call the Ner Ma'aravi, which is called the Western lamp, but literally the Ner Tamid was the middle candle of the 7-branch menorah. So the 7-branch menorah you had as it was on the day that it was placed. Very interesting. Now, regarding the menorah, the Torah commanded that what's called the Ner Tamid, or what the rabbis will call the Ner Ma'aravi, which is called the Western lamp, but literally the Ner Tamid was the middle candle of the 7-branch menorah. So the 7-branch menorah, you had 3 right lateral branches, 3 left lateral branches. And I will hope that you go take a look at my teaching on the essence of the menorah, which is brought down in Parshah Terumah. I didn't include it in Parshah Terumah because it's mentioned in Terumah, but I go over all the details of Parshah Terumah as well in Terumah regarding the menorah. So if you had not had the chance to take a look at that teaching, highly recommend you to go look at it to understand how, yes, the menorah is a microcosm of man. So nonetheless, the 3 right and left lateral branches, those neirot on those stems, okay, were independent from the Ner Tamid. I should say the Ner Tamid was independent of those lateral branches, which is why the language of Lashon of the Torah is that the lateral branches, the Neirot, the lamps, had to kind of pyramid incline towards the Ner Tamid. The Ner Tamid remained continually lit. It was never put out. Every evening when Aharon or his sons would come into the actual Hechel, the sanctuary, to relight the Neirot of the menorah, it would talk about the lateral branches in which they would take from the Ner, the fire of the Ner, and light it there. For example, we see here in Shemot, Exodus 27, verse 20, Parshah Terumah. It says, this is the command about taking the oil from the children of Israel. It shall be pure crushed oil for illumination to cause the Ner Tamid to ascend. It doesn't say Nerot. It's not talking about the other lateral branches here. It's only talking about Ner Tamid. It's talking about the middle branch. The middle branch by itself represents the menorah, okay? Not the left and right lateral branches, as I explained in my teaching. The left lateral branch represents volition, okay? And actually, no, the left lateral branch, which is closer to the parochet, represents perception. The right lateral branch, pointing towards the actual outer courtyard, which is closer to the parochet, represents perception. The right lateral branch, pointing towards the actual outer courtyard, represents volition. So it's all about a person embodying the will of Hashem to perceive. The actual outer courtyard represents volition. So it's all about a Very interesting piece of the Midrash. Now, I'd like to point out something here.
Oh,
When the Midrash speaks about
hey,
the
Alfie.
bracha,
How are you? But yeah, so interesting with this idea of one ring. I can't find anything directly connecting the idea that they pulled from, or that token pulled from. I can't find a direct connection other than the term one ring, but it's still interesting nonetheless.
Sounds like you have a paper there.
Unfortunately, I wouldn't have much to write it on. I mean, I could stretch it, but it's the type of thing that I would need a better understanding of biology. Anyway, here.
mishulachat ba'isa, that a blessing went into her isa, her dough, that is actually being used in a way as a metaphor for money. The Midrash is teaching that Abraham was blessed financially in the zechut of his wife Sarah. And this is something the Zohar brings down with the concept that we say in English, happy wife. Happy
Wait,
wife. That the income of a person's
Didn't we
home
just hear
is
this?
through the soul of the wife. The wife that is happy, she has true simcha, that
Yeah,
the wife's
we
soul
did.
serves as a conduit for parnosa. That's why we say happy wife, happy life. According to Chazal,
I'm still going to
what's called
personally
Shabbat.
disagree with him.
Yeah, fair.
The point is more to lose a wife rather than find a wife for me. But that's.
And furthermore, we read over in Masech Chagiga and the Bavli, it says, behold your affection before God, who performs a perpetual miracle with the bread. Okay? Lechem HaPanim was put out every Shabbat, indicating that it was hot on the day of its removal as it was on the day that it was placed. Very interesting. Now, regarding
Oh, come on. There.
But I go over all the details of Parshah Terumah as well in Tetzaveh regarding the menorah. So if you had not had the chance, I will hope that you go take a look at my teaching on the essence of the menorah, which is brought down in Parshah Tetzaveh. I didn't include in Parshah Terumah because it's mentioned in Tetzaveh, but I go over all the details of Parshah Terumah as well in Tetzaveh regarding the menorah.
Oh,
So if you had not taken,
it thinks
had the
he's
chance
saying
to
intensive
Tetzaveh,
vape.
but my teaching on the essence of the menorah, which is brought down in Parshah Tetzaveh. I didn't include in Parshah Terumah because it's mentioned in Tetzaveh. You go take a look at my teaching on the essence of the menorah, which is brought down in Parshah Tetzaveh. I didn't include in Parshah Terumah because it's mentioned in Tetzaveh, but I go over all the details of Parshah Terumah as well in Tetzaveh regarding the menorah. So if you had not had the chance to take a look at the teaching, highly recommend you to go look at it to understand how, yes, the menorah is a microcosm of man. So nonetheless, the three right and left lateral branches, those ne'rot on those stems, okay, were independent from the ner tamid. I should say the ner tamid was independent of those lateral branches, which is why the language of Lashon of the Torah is that the lateral branches, the ne'rot, the lamps, had to kind of pyramid incline towards the ner tamid. The ner tamid remained continually lit. It was never put out. Every evening when Aharon or his sons would come into the actual hechel, the sanctuary, to relight the ne'rot of the menorah, it would talk about the lateral branches in which they would take from the ner, the fire of the ner, and light it there. For example, we see here in Shemot, Exodus 27, verse 20, Parshah Tetzaveh. It says, this is the command about taking the oil from the children of Israel. It shall be pure crushed oil for illumination to cause the ner tamid to ascend. It doesn't say nerot. It's not talking about the other lateral branches here. It's only talking about ner tamid. It's talking about the middle branch. The middle branch by itself represents the menorah. Okay, not the left and right lateral branches, as I explained in my teaching. The left lateral branch represents volition. Okay. And actually, no, the left lateral branch, which is closer to the parochet, represents perception. The right lateral branch, pointing towards the actual outer courtyard, represents volition. So it's all about a person embodying the will of Hashem to perception of Him via the Torah. Once again, take a look at my other teaching on that to get a wonderful eye-opening insight on how the menorah is a microcosm of man himself, as well as with the other respective vessels in the Mishkan. So we see here a connection with the lamp that Sarah lit with the Mishkan, okay, and the menorah. And we also just saw here the challah and the lechem hapanim. Now, regarding the Shekhinah, the cloud, if you will, the Torah tells us, as Ramban mentioned before, that once the Mishkan was established, the Shekhinah will preside over the Mishkan. Going over here to Exodus chapter 40, verse 34 to 38, Parshah Pikudei, it says that the cloud covered the tent meeting, and the glory of Hashem filled the Mishkan. Moshe could not enter the Ohel Moed, for the cloud rested upon it, and the glory of Hashem filled the Mishkan. When the cloud was raised up from the Mishkan, and it says, and the Bnei Israel would embark on all of their journeys. And he goes on to say afterwards, if the cloud did not rise up, they would not embark until the day it rose up. For the cloud of Hashem would be on the Mishkan by day, and fire would be on it at night, before the eyes of all the house of Israel, throughout Bechol Mase'ehem, throughout all of their journeys. So what we learn from these examples is that the Mishkan was really based on the Ohala Sarah, the tent of Sarah Imenu. This is really what it's based upon. It's fascinating because we just learned that there were certain elements, the Beriach HaTeichon and the Kachashim, and also the inauguration of the Mishkan on the birthday of Yitzhak, that the other elements were associated with their fathers. So when we take a look at the overall elements taking place in the Mishkan, the activity, we see it's also connected with the activity of Sarah Imenu. the challah, the candle in Erev Shabbat, okay, the cloud over the Ohel. This is identical with Sarah that also continue in the life of Rivka and Rachel and also Leah. So we have a connection with not just the avot, but also the imot. Fascinating. So what are we learning here? Sefer Shemot deals with the theme of Geulah, redemption. That is the primary theme that we're introduced to when we open up the Chumash and we see Hashem selecting Moshe Rabbeinu to be really as the Goel, the Redeemer, on standby as the Jewish people wake up and they cry out for redemption. The redemption of the Jewish people is contingent of them returning to the spiritual level, the spiritual madrega of their ancestors. Now, in regard to the cloud that covered the Mishkan, we discover a mysterious connection with the cloud in Parshas Vayakhel. In Parshas Vayakhel, when the Torah describes the people donating to the Mishkan, and mentioned that the Nisim, or the tribal leaders, donated last. We see here in Exodus chapter 25, verse 27 through 28. The Torah says over here, V'hanisim hivi'u et avnei shoham. The princes, the Nisim, they brought the shoham stones and the stones for the settings of the ephod and the choshen mishpat, or what's called the breastplate of judgment. And I would invite you to take a look at my teaching on Parshah Tetzaveh, which I talk about that in detail. Also the spice and the oil for illumination, and also for the anointment oil and for the incense spices. Interesting. I want you to notice here what I have highlighted in yellow, that when the Torah identifies the princes, it writes the word Nisi'im defectively by omitting two yuds. Okay? The word Nisi'im in Hebrew is supposed to be spelled with two yuds, just as you see on your screen on the right. That is how it's supposed to be spelled. But as it's spelled here in Parshah Vayakhel, it's spelled defectively. Why is that? Well, according to the Midrash, the reason why the Torah spelled the word Nisi'im defectively is that it reflected the laziness of the tribal leaders when it came to contributing to the Mishkan. We find here in Bamidbar Rabbah,
Which one are they saying
is
that regarding,
as opposed to the
for the
laziness
construction
of the
Mishkan,
scribe
they
copying
acted lazy and brought only shoham stones and
As
setting
opposed
stones
to what?
after the rest of the people had contributed. At that time,
the
Moshe
laziness
solicited
of the
donations from
scribe
Mishkan.
copying it. He just didn't write it twice.
True. Imagine you finish one copy and you're like, okay, time to make the second one. It's like, wait, why? I'm making one copy. What do you think? Oh yeah, let's see where we are. All right. So let me see if I can find any resources on this.
In the meantime, I was just going to comment how fascinating I find some of those, different hierarchies of the manuscript traditions, where you can see where an error gets repeated in additional copies down the line and such. It's sort of a genealogy of them. Kind of interesting tag.
It says, and thou shalt rear up the tabernacle. Moses should tell us to the wise-hearted. As scripture states, and thou shalt rear up the tabernacle, because Moses reared it up first. However, there were others with them, for when many people were required to rear up the tabernacle. Gotta keep going. Vasita farochet tchelet. Oh wait, yeah. Vasita farochet tchelet ve'argaman v'tolad shani v'shesh morsor maseh choshev יעשה אותה cherubim. And and you will make a is this parachah? You'll make a parachah. You'll make a veil or curtain, a blue curtain, and purple, and crimson, and twisted or woven hemp, fine hemp cloth. Ma'aseh choshev, a work of thought, a thoughtful work. Yaseota will be made for you. Cherubim. And you're to make. And you're to make the cherubs. It's kind of interesting how it blends together. Um. Let's see where am I at. Okay. And and you give upon for people standing watch
For pillars.
What?
Pillars.
Oh. Wait. Oh, amudei. That's what you're saying? Was it pillars?
Or columns.
Oh yeah. All right. And you and you give upon arba upon 4 amudei shitim upon 4 columns or 4 pillars of acacia. Mitzupim matzafa. Oh yeah, like you watch over.
No. Covered up with gold.
Yeah. I always keep getting that mistaken. So it's just complete. So it's depending on whether it's colored PL. No. It's like one of these meanings here. It's what you were saying. Anyway. Like covered over with gold. Vavechem. And Vaveam. Oh, like Vav. Interesting. And hooks of gold. So what's the difference between like this word Vav and the term keres?
I think that basically there is no difference, but keres is an anchor and vav is a hook. But basically there is no difference between an anchor and hook.
Interesting. All right, so where are we at? So and they're hooks of gold upon 4 upon 4 pillars, majestic silver pillars or silver pillars, columns, whatever. Let's see. Sorry, just give me a moment. Let me drink some tea. Alright, so we
maybe the difference between an anchor and a hook is the shape.
True. Well, also how much weight? Like how heavy? But I see your point. They both serve the same function. Alright, so let's see. So,
Wait a minute. I think that since we are reading in verse 33, that the veil should be handled with the anchors. I guess that the anchors are rounded shapes, vav. So think about your bath when you are covering it with a veil. You just need to put the rounded anchors inside inside the hollows on the on the curtain. So you know what I mean?
kind of, yeah.
I think that the difference is, in fact, the shape, and one of the words is just trying to give the hook a rounded shape instead of just I don't know how to call it. Just I mean a full circle with a small hollow to put the curtain inside against something that is just a half of a circle.
Alright, cool. Sorry, I'm just trying to fade, so I just want to finish this up. So we're on, let's see, this is 26. And it goes, we're at 33 and it goes to 37. Okay, so we're almost done. Okay. ונתת את הפרכת תחת הכרסים והבאת שמה מבית לפרוכת את ארון העדות והבדילה הפרוכת להם. Wait, what's upstairs? Okay, let's see yours. Okay, so wait, did I finish that?
There's a problem?
No, sorry. Okay, ארון העדות והבדילה הפרוכת לכם בין הקודש uven kodesh hakdashim. Sorry, no, I just fell asleep for a second. So, and I will give, or no, and you will give, or you're to place the parochet, the veil, below the karasim, below the clasps, or like the hooks, and you are to bring them there. Mibate the parochet to the house of the.
Mibate from inside.
Oh, interesting. From inside the parochet, and the aron, the ark of the
So
witness.
they mean that the parochet, the curtain, was between the the um, uh, the ark and the other part of the temple. So it just divided between the
Yeah.
less holy place
Between,
and the more holy place.
yeah,
So
well,
the
like
holy of holies is the place of the ark,
yes.
and the veil should be the divider.
So it's like the idea. So the veil, that's the divider. It's the divider between Kodesh ve Kodesh Hakadashim versus the idea typically of the veil between Kodesh and Chol.
Yes.
All right, yeah. Here, finishing up now. All right.
And by the way, you probably remember that the ark of the covenant just has a cover that is called kaporet,
Yeah.
which
And
is
oh,
practically the opposite of parochet.
yeah. Kaporet Parochet. Interesting. Yeah, I noticed there was a similarity, but I didn't actually realize that it was the exact same letters. Anyway, so so below the hooks, and bring it there, from inside, or bring it outside or from inside, uh, to the prochet, the aron, the ark of witness, or like the ark of the testimony, v'hivdila, and separate the prochet will separate them between the kodesh and the kodesh and bain kodesh, like the holy and the most holy, like you're saying. V'natata et hakaporet al aron ha'edot v'kodesh hakdashim. And place there the kaporet upon the ark. Wait, yeah, hakaporet. Wait,
Yes,
hakaporet.
this is the kaporet. This is the cover of the ark, and the parochet is the veil that divides between the ark and the rest of the temple. So again, we have two: parochet, which is the veil, and kaporet, which is a golden cover that we should put above the ark.
Interesting. I forget how I connected that, but it almost reminds me of a seed where it's like it's protected in this. I don't know how I connected it to this, but because I lost the idea, but it sounded good in the moment. So yeah, so and place the kaporet upon the aron, the the aron hakodesh, and what was it? Oh, right. So upon the ark of witness and big kodesh hakadosh. Wait, yeah, and witness. Wait, no, the ark of the witness. Oh, big kodesh hakadashim in the sanctuary, or in the holy of holies.
Vesamta, not shanta. Samta
sorry.
is you
Yeah.
should put.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just really tired. I misled. Yeah. ושמת את השולחן מחוץ לפרוכת ואת המנורה נוכח השולחן על צלע המשכן תמנה והשולחן תיתן על צלע צפון, and place upon the shulchan from outside to the parochet, so that you're to place it outside, outside the parochet, and the menorah nachoach.
Nochach is against.
Against hashulchan, against the table, on upon the
Tsela is the
side.
ancient word for side.
Yeah. Side also.
So when you think about the tsela that God took off of Adam, you probably think about the how do we say it?
Rib.
Yes. So about an organ from Adam's body, but probably this is not the organ, the ribs, but the side of his body. So the Genesis is just saying that Adam and Eve were connected side by side, and he splitted them. However, you see that the tabernacle has, and not just the tabernacle, but also the temple, they both have tsela as a reference for this act of God.
Interesting. So it seems like it could be like ritual or cultic language that has deeper meaning there.
Oh, yes, this is what I mean. And you see that the menorah and the altar and more furniture of the tabernacle has also some code words that refer to different stories over the Torah, such as kaneh and such as keren. Keren of the Mizbeach is the side, the corner of the Mizbeach. And you see that keren is also the horn of some wild ox. And also keren is what the redemption of Israel is called keren. And regarding the menorah just has kaneh, and kaneh is, as you probably know, a branch. And the branch is a reference for the holy tree, and the branch is a reference for the tree of life, and for the branch of Jesse.
It's interesting because there's also the mention of the kaftorim, the kaftorim.
Yes, kaftorim. Kaftor is kaftor and shaked and almond are also references for some stories of Aaron's stuff and of Jeremiah's prophecy, etc.
But yeah, like the thing is that what's interesting is that the meshukadim typically they'll translate it as like like the shape of almond blossoms, but they only ever imply blossoms. They never explicitly say almond blossoms. It always has to be inferred.
Yes.
Anyway, so let's continue and let's finish up. So let's see where we at. Oh yeah, and place upon the shulchan from outside. Wait. Oh, nachoch. Um, in front of the table, upon the side of the Mishkan, the right side of the Mishkan, and the table will yield, or
To the south.
well, yeah, Temanat could be to the right. Wait, what did I say?
Right is if you're standing with your face towards the east, so your right is the south. This
Yeah.
is why Teiman is being called south, because Teiman is from Yamin, which is
Yeah.
right.
And then Kedem is like Kadima, which is
In
forward,
front, yes.
east. Yeah. All right. So the south side of the Mishkan and the table will give upon no you'll give to the table upon the side but the table you're to put on the north side. You're to place the table upon the side of the north. ועשית מסך לבטח האוהל תכלת וארגמן ותולד שני ושש מוש זוהר מעשה רוקם. And you'll make a covering or a screen for the opening or entrance of the tent, blue and purple and red, and woven hemp, maseh rokem, the work of rakam, the work of embroiders. It says. Like color mixers, variegators. ועשita למסך.
I just want to note, I don't know the difference between the two actions, maaseh, but the masach, the screen, is a parallel of the kaporet, the veil. So the veil should be done with maaseh. Maaseh, I think, choshev, and the masach should be done with maaseh rokem. Maaseh choshev is an act of a thinker, and maaseh rokem is an act of a weaver. I don't know the difference, but it should be noted.
Maybe it's like the difference between chokhmah and bina, the idea of like kind of like logos versus pathos.
I know that in a midrash they just present some of the temple workers as weavers, and some of them as metalsmith, and some of them just as scribes. So I think that the nuances is of this so-called spiritual levels. I don't know, but I tend to think about the code names of the name of the actions. So probably the weaver is a lower level than a thinker. You should take everything and consider it as a mystical code name.
Interesting. But yeah, I mean, you did have the weavers in the women's quarter within the first temple period. But anyway, let's get
In the midrash of the First Chronicles, there are very long family trees of the tribe of Israel, and some of the names of Judah are being studied as the temple workers.
interesting. All right, so let's finish this up. Let's see. ועשית למעשה 5 עמודי שיטים וציפית אותם זהב ובביהם זהב ויצקת להם 5 אדני נחושת. And make make a screen or a covering, 5 amud 5 standing shitim, standing acacia trees with tzifita, and
Covered up them.
Yeah, I know. Cover them over with gold, and the gold what is this? The gold hooks or nails, and veitzakta, and pour out over them, onto them, chamisha adnei nechoshet, 5 sockets of bronze.
So I think this is the proof of the lower level of the screen, because you should remember that the parochet was made of silver sockets, but the screen is made of bronze sockets. So bronze is the 3rd degree of metal, of the heavenly metal. The 2nd degree is the silver, and the holiest, the most holy degree is, of course, the gold. And the gold, you can see that the cover of the ark is made of gold. The cover of the Holy of Holies is made of silver, and the cover of the tabernacle is made of bronze.
What do you mean the cover of the tabernacle?
The screen is basically the cover of the tabernacle. The cover, when you're trying to enter the tabernacle, you have some kind of a door, of a cover that is covering the holiness of the tabernacle. And when you're going inside, you see another cover, another door, which is the parochet. And when you're coming inside, you see the 3rd cover, which is the upper cover of the ark. So you need to open the ark when you are removing the cover. So there are 3 covers. This is what I mean.
Interesting. So it's like, it definitely feels like there's this like progressive level, and like that everything, very alchemical.
Yes, I like to see it as a computer game when you need to beat 3 different monsters. The first monster is the weakest one. The second is stronger than the first, and the third is the strongest one.
Interesting. I see where you're getting that from. So anyway, so let's finish up here now. So Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam asher natan lanu torat emet v'chaye olam nata betochenu Baruch atah Adonai notenu Torah. And on that note, anyone have any last thoughts before we close out?
I was just going to build on what Avi said, and when
Oh
they
yeah,
finally
totally.
built-
Yeah, go ahead.
when they finally built the temple, they put another layer of stone around the gold, the silver, and the brass. Just an additional layer tag.
Ooh, that is a good connection. It's almost like also, what was that thing that I shared recently about the new discovery that they made with a type of gold? Remember?
Yeah, that was science basically talking about using nanoparticles of gold, or more or less monoatomic gold, in order to cure disease and stuff. Tag.
So it's almost like whether there's an active effect or not, people are clearly recognizing the significance of different of these substances. In some cases based on rarity, in other cases having nothing to do with how commonly it occurs.
Definitely. But no, I just wanted to share the observation about an additional layer of stone added with the temple. Other than that, it's been fun like always.
Yeah, likewise. And we'll finish up tomorrow, or today, I guess. Today. And on that note, where is it? Here.
Want to tell the Rebbe the words of the new song that we're singing with Mashiach, right? So I'm just going to read him. Am Yisrael, have no fear. Mashiach will be here this year. We want Mashiach now. We don't want to wait. Okay? We want Mashiach now. We want Mashiach now. Oh yeah, I'm